Hello, good people. Welcome back to Broken Windows. I'm your host, Shadrack Manano.
Oteam is my name.
And we're back for yet another episode.
Yes, an interesting episode that I think encompasses what we all know. The new, I should say, current affairs.
Current affairs.
Yes.
The new normal for us.
The new normal for us. So
people sending heads to the deputy speaker.
You just had to start with that one. But anyway, yes, we all know that this month, the deputy speaker received a head as a gift from someone. What plays me about this whole story is the fact that this man lives where he was, walks down the streets to parliament with a head. It's...
You know what Kadaga said? We're still doing investigation.
What investigation?
Are you trying to find the body?
The body? What are you trying to find? You're trying to find a picture of the guy doing the act.
I do not know.
Man, I don't know.
But I also wonder what were his intentions.
Yeah, true. I would refer this whole situation to I think 2016 when Kadaga still went to a traditional doctor to pray for her to actually pass elections. You get? I'm not trying to say that probably this was the guy coming around with another head like, hey, this is the head you can use for sacrifice or something. But you can also say that we don't know. But yes, the confidence of a man to do that, to go into parliament, this is like one of the safest places in Uganda right now.
Where Olanya just shows up in a what? In a motorbike.
A motorbike, a very nice motorbike, and parks it there, you know. But this guy comes with a head, passes security, and hands the head over.
But let me first see. Nowadays we have something on Broken Windows.
On Broken Windows. We have some splash.
People, thank you for subscribing. Life is good.
Life is getting better. Hey, no more Rolex.
No more Nyanya missing.
No. Yeah, but anyway, the person came to parliament with a head. And that story actually faded. The new normal in Uganda is the most serious things actually disappear into the thin air. Like no one really cares about political talk anymore. You get? I would want to try and to raise a compromise or to compare and contrast two situations. That and then Kanyamunyu's thing.
Kanyamunyu. When he went and knelt
before the Acholi elders.
Before the family of the later Kena.
The later Kena.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Kanyamunyu did not help himself when whatever happened, yeah?
Yes.
Did not help himself how they held themselves up in court.
Yeah, you know, him and the girlfriend and the brother.
It was painful to watch.
Yeah, it was painful to laugh.
It was painful.
They were laughing at everything.
It was a complete disregard for human life. So for me, I feel like it is very hypocritical that he's here kneeling before the family. And I feel like the family is entitled to sort of reconcile, because that is something like the British justice system does not do. It is all about punishment. It's all about reconciling,
crime and punishment. But are we trying to say that actually we are that the courts are no longer as effective as they used to be? That right now we are going to go back and reconcile our cultures, the things that the whites were disregarding, that was a barbaric behavior. Right now is what we're looking up to get the truth.
I feel like it's not exactly that the courts are not doing the thing. It's more, we have to sort of find our sort of space, what we can get from this and what we can bring from there and put it in one space. So if we can do matoput where we are sort of reconciling people, that makes sense.
But does it mean that
it doesn't really necessarily mean that the British thing is just although the way it was designed to sort of put us in like a space, sort of they're holding us to standards that were not ours.
Yeah, true.
And so that it's always going to hold us back. That is true.
Yeah. So you're trying to say that Kanyamunyu going back to the elders and doing that is enough for us to forgive him for what he did. I don't know what your take is on life sentence and all. And also killing for killing. Like when someone kills, the punishment is.
If Kanyamunyu had done what he did the first week, I would have been like, this is probably someone who is genuinely sorry. But now it really looks like he's trying to just avoid someone has told him, because in the beginning it just looked like they knew someone who was going to tell them something.
No, but then
like someone had told them something that you guys, yeah. I got you. Now I got you. I'm sorry, I don't mean to touch that one. But now I got you, and I feel like maybe that's the sort of confidence they had.
Yes.
But then, whatever, like what happened from then to now is like they become at least more humbled. They realize that things don't work like this.
Will we go with the story that probably the ghost of Akena was attacking you? Don't believe in that? You don't believe in that? Because ghosts can come
let me tell you
tomorrow or the next day.
I really feel it is also a question of like conscience and mental fortitude. If you want to believe in everything, then man, anyone can just mess with your head, because the most vulnerable part of us as human beings,
human mind,
is the mind. If someone messes with your mind, it is done. Doesn't matter if it's in a good way, if it's in a bad way.
Yeah, true.
You're done. So if you start saying that now ghosts are following me, you start believing that there's bad luck following you, nothing can work. It's a sort of self-prophecy. You are speaking these things
into your But I think the Mako put thing actually tries to reconcile with the law based on we have a plea bargain, because I think the DPP called back the file now, and I think the man is going to have to take another plea of guilty now. You get it? But you know how everything happened in the
But where was it only him dealing?
Because I think that is what the culture says. Hey, you expected the other people to
Yes.
No, because none of them was involved in the killing.
No. They're not involved necessarily, but they took part of the guilt.
Yeah, they took part of the guilt.
They took part of the guilt and also assigned them part of the guilt because of them being in the same situation and also the way they displayed themselves in court.
And I think it comes back to our society. You saw which people actually were standing behind him. Winnie Nyima, the likes of Mwenda, defend like, no, there is no proof. And not even within 3 days, the murder weapon disappears. The brother,
I would like to say that we cannot really have an intelligent conversation and mention Andrew Mwenda. No, people, no.
So you're trying to say Andrew Mwenda has ceased to be
no, he's relevant to maybe his neighbors. But no one else. No one is listening to Andrew Mwenda.
Yeah, no one else.
No, like you cannot be
and I think that is one thing our TV stations need to know.
Exactly.
You keep bringing up this man, he's a fellow Dikula. You saw what he tried to do with NUP, going there to wants to become the president. Later on, he says, "No, I was just trying to." You're mocking us.
That man must have a very small dick.
What?
No, but because those are small dick games. No, like what are you trying to do? It's like this man, Balam, always wearing the funny shirt.
That funny shirt. And man trying to always appear relevant in irrelevant things. And I don't blame I don't blame Namboze for calling him a useful idiot. And I think giving him a good title, it was bad. Because now we know.
The idiots, remember, there was a letter that leaked. The idiots wrote a letter, they said they vehemently opposed the use of useful and idiot
in the same
when referring to Balam. Because they don't recognize him as one of their own.
And I think you see, when you show society that you can be used for anything to push any kind of agenda, your relevance starts to cease. The Andrew Mwenda we used to know, the back of 1997, 96, the time he was working at Capital FM, Observer, using facts to, and I think at some point these people, like all journalists, actually have reached a point where all they want to do is remain relevant, other than actually pushing news. Within this last week, there was a story about this Eli Tumwini being under siege by the German embassy. Did you hear about that? Someone tweeted about it, and then this Samson Kasumba comments like, "Are you sure about this?" The guy even pins that he's like, "I double dare any media house to get an interview with that person." Because you guys are trying to show us that you're impartial and you're actually giving us the news. How come none of you has mentioned this?
What is really perturbing about the story is the fact that the word journalist is assigned to Samson Kasumba. Because man, like,
you're calling him a TV presenter, just he's an MC cuts.
The man doesn't have. You know, people are. I was watching TV during these things of NRM primary.
Where you were fighting from? Who's on?
Your home, sir.
Yeah, okay.
During these things of NRM primary, people are fighting. What is fun is how that NRM of EC chairman was blowing them. Hi people, what? Hey, this is beyond. This is beneath us. I was like, but
NRM is known for democracy. It's like a prostitute trying to tell you, no, make sure.
I'm a virgin.
Yes. Like I'm a virgin. No, make sure you have sex probably after marriage. And restrict. And you're like, bruh, really? Are you trying to tell me that?
So what is the name of this popular journalist?
Sabiti.
Sabiti was there saying people were exchanging blows. He said, exchanging blows.
You're a journalist and you're using the word
P4. That's what I was using. P4. I was telling guys, man, I'll exchange blows with that you guys. This is what a journalist is using on, like, how?
Maybe he's trying to relate to us. I mean, to relate to everyone.
You know what game I had to play? I had us to play a game where we try to become Sabiti reporting the news of the head in Parliament. Sabiti would say, there has been a behavior. Because the guy's big short and it's like just very limited.
Meanwhile, you should know this is the former PR officer for Action Aid.
Let me just drink.
Take your
Action Aid. If you could take that guy, you can't take.
You can't take any of us. You
really exchanging blows.
That issue of the head. I think you would report it this way. Someone pickpocketed it.
No way, pickpocketed.
Because those like simple words that we used at nursery school in rhymes and all. Like, hey, give me also. Some also. You know. Someone gave him also someone sex.
You gave somebody sex. That's why just breaking news.
It's not breaking news.
He was there in like a waistcoat.
Very serious. And we're still on current affairs as we shift from the beheading. Meanwhile, the investigations are still proceeding. The guy even came and testified that he actually has 15 heads of other people. What? The confidence of this man plays me. And then police had to go back and say, we're going to investigate that. Then they come back 3 days later. It's not true, we did not find the heads. Bruh, the man just confessed. Probably he can take you where they are. Why are we treating this man like it's normal? You get it? You know, why are we trying to hide away from certain things like we are going to...
Because by the time as a country...
Like when someone is killed, the next thing you're like, why was he killed? Like, do you really
so human life does not matter, but as a country, how someone can take a human head to the parliament of the country, to the speaker of the country, and just be there saying, exchanging blows like
I know, and you know,
and you see, the funny thing is that I feel like journalists, especially people like Kasumba, they do not sort of understand the responsibility they have. Because of the profession. There was a time Kasumba was leaving news and he said, now let me walk like people in Karamoja. Then started like skipping. I think what he meant to do was so maybe throw light and Karamoja would have told something like that. But I looked at this man and I said, that's stupidity, this man.
You man, you are attacking the person of
was it the one arrested? For what?
Yeah, like we can never know
for what? That was like a popularity stunt. There's nothing else. There is nothing else. It was like this Munagwa who kidnapped himself. Every election he has to kidnap himself.
Kidnap himself.
To kidnap himself or like people they took me
somewhere and what? And man kidnapped himself. Still about the NRM elections. This our AG. Like we clearly see a video of him cocking a gun. And I don't know if he shot at the person, but the fact that someone has the balls to hold the gun in public, shoot in air.
First, and yet you AG. Explain to people what AG means.
Attorney General. The Attorney General of this country. You get it?
The Attorney General of this country is deciding that the law does not matter.
That the law doesn't matter to him. And it's the second time it has happened.
And you know NRM, and I think Tango Doi needs to hear this, that if NRM is on this standard, he wants us to believe it is, Then why wasn't the man disqualified?
Yeah, why wasn't he disqualified? Because they had to wait for a few days and then they did a count and he won. The man them won by 20 something votes. And right now we laugh at these things, but later on, man,
when people start bringing heads to parliament
or private parts, that is when you will know that
private parts.
Yeah. Nanti, what is it called? Where they remove those parts of human beings, selling them out there. You know, when actually you start selling people's parts for living, that is when you will wake up. We are going to laugh at these things now, but later on when it gets serious, society will be like, when did we reach here? When you watch the whole journey,
we watch someone take a head to parliament, and then police just told us they are doing investigations
about that. And I cannot really blame, because police knows that today they will shout, then tomorrow the things are kept quiet. Like they will keep quiet about everything. You get?
Like now we'll have some weird.
Like now you decided just to show us your bed. But yes, you also edit that out. Nothing. It has to be there. But yes, such character of yours, you know, and someone walking freely to parliament with the head, and no one actually talking about it. I would also try to, you see, in the US, Donald Trump has been the guy saying there is no corona, that is the Chinese virus, the Chinese. Now the man them nabs it.
If irony, if there were ever situations, irony.
This was all ironic, and he was scared about it. Hey, the medical officers, I trust them. And yet it was the same one saying that our medical people are overhyping this thing and they're overpaid and what. But then another person looks at it in another way, like, what if this guy just wanted to dodge the what? The debate.
The debates.
And he wanted to have a time to
That is true, but I also feel like Trump has an inflated ego and he would not.
Yeah, he would not want to. True. And I saw a tweet by one of the most famous journalists in the US. He tweeted saying that the irony that we follow each other on Twitter, you man. I have a following, but yes, he tweeted saying the irony that the White House is no longer the safest place. Because that is where Donald Trump is, you get?
I know, and all these guys are infected and walking around without masks. And
and man, I watched the thing of, she's called Ivanka, the daughter, and she talked when the plane was landing and she's like, hey daddy, welcome back. I'm like, bruh, for us we used to welcome dad on a roadmaster. And he parks there. For you, you're saying daddy, welcome back. Helicopters are landing and he's coming, you know?
But I think the thing people don't realize about our country is that we're in a very bad place where things can happen to you and you just go.
And you just believe.
Some of us have like older relations who tell us these stories. So we know these things are not far-fetched. Me, in my family, I know people who have disappeared. So, like someone disappearing, it's not a new thing. No, government. It's not a new thing. So when you talk to young people and you tell them, man, you should be more concerned about this.
Like, wow, Uganda is the best place. We are enjoying life.
No, not really that, but like this sort of laissez-faire, we feel like we're not really concerned about politics.
And bruh, during time of, you know, it was packed with youngins. Not only youngins, like, I remember reaching the gate and I'm like, bruh, this is not my place. I saw people who were like in first year, who were oriented when I was in fourth year. I'm like, man, I think I have overgrown certain things. None of them is sanitized. And all of them are saying, police was paid. We are safe here. We are very okay.
I don't know. It's just people. There are people who just have like that lack in experience. But when you go back to this thing of politics, even recently, this NUP, I don't know what is happening in NUP. Things are
good. Things are serious. But
this NUP was founded on the basis that people were just going to align themselves with Bobby Wine and get whatever position they're buying.
True.
Because that has worked. It has worked.
Yeah.
It may not work for Bobby Wine himself, but it has worked for everyone.
It has worked for some other people.
So that's what. So it's not really like a full political party.
I watched Court seem like a comedy store. That ninja literally contradicted himself, like, and I'm like, what? And at some point he's like, I need protection. He needs lifeguard. He's asking for lifeguard. I was proud, I'm like, bruh, you're in the wrong area. These things are found in pharmacies. He was literally begging God. He didn't go to police. Why can't we report certain things to police? Like,
let me tell you, a few weeks ago, I was sitting on a border, my phone fell. I was lucky that a certain gentleman picked it and kept it on, and I eventually contacted him. But when my phone fell, I can ring, the phone is ringing, I go to police and tell them I need to track my phone. Police tells me, we cannot help you, maybe what we can do is give you a letter to block the line. I said, but now, for what? The phone is still on. Like, it is still on, like, I've called it, you can hear it, like now.
Why do I block the line?
Our police, I don't know. I don't know. But just hope you never need them.
Yeah.
Except maybe to get through traffic and
it's something. That's something a comedian said sometimes. Like, man, he's living in that, like a comedian in the US. He's living in a place where the whites, like he's living in an area of only whites because he became rich, and the rich people stay in a particular area. The most people there are whites. But then he says, if a thief breaks into my place, I'm the first suspect, even at my own home. I cannot call police like, hey, thieves, because I remember, man, I'm the only black guy in this area. Nothing, you get? So even us right now, we have reached that point where we know that, man, police might not be able to.
Police works for Uganda, We're in Uganda.
We're in Uganda. Talking about Uganda, the High Court judge who was heading to Masindi and gets an accident. It's not the first time I've heard about a judge getting an accident. And they're like, they're dragged back later using an ambulance. This man was airlifted by a UPDF helicopter. It flew in from Clark, went there, got him, and I'm not saying it's bad, but I read someone's tweet, he asked, but how come when a lot, like, how, like, okay,
that some cutters was not even given. No, that some cutters was not even given to Namboze.
True.
It was not given to this guy who this guy Bobby Wine, this guy who's always in hospital. What's his name?
Zake. Zake, an MP. True. A member of parliament. I can call him one of the A-class what? Citizens. Yes. This guy was airlifted from there and taken to the hospital. And then UPDF was bragging about that. Yes, the UPDF choppers are used for emergencies and what. And someone was like, it seems that was the only emergency we have had this year. Because it's the first time we have seen it happen in UK. It was like they were blur. I too was blur, like, man, really? It's not that it's bad that they're doing it, but
that's a very like open double standard.
Yeah, that's a very open double standard. As well, finding out later on that the judge is a former cadre. And you just be like, man, it's okay.
That is why for me, I'm team people power. I can say it openly.
Yeah, I think okay,
I'm not team people power, but I'm team Bobby Wine. I'm team Bobby Wine. Because I feel like he's the only person who has legitimately represented our sort of frustrations. And people can always say these things. The man is so is not educated in like politics. Does not have experience. He does not understand government. But you've had all these people before. Amamba Babazi, Bessie J, Paul Samogere, you have not chosen them. It is a stupid argument to make, honestly.
True.
You cannot be like, this man has no experience. But you've had experience. Yeah. Why did you choose it?
I remember...
You just keep making excuses.
I mean, back then, the likes of Patrice Lumumba, he was asked that how come you're supporting a group of people, an opposition group of people who do not follow your idea. And he made one of the most brilliant quotes that I still use, that if anyone is for change, whoever they are, but as long as they say they are for change, I will go with them. And I think that is why I also attach myself to a certain, to that movement of, you know what, it's true, things have happened and all, and we appreciate and what. But man, my whole life I'm not going to appreciate.
It's like I buy you one wine and every day.
And then that guy bought me wine. Every day you meet me, thank you so much. Hey, you gave me the other woman. I
never gave you one.
Just in case you're a pimp, they will look for you. Yes. But yes, that line of argument is one that is sound. And as we come to a point where we are understanding that you're leaving school, you're getting out here to actually look for a job. You've done everything that the system has asked you for. You went to school, went to this, did all this. Then you come out here and then you go to a certain place and they tell you, do you know anyone? You're like, I know me. I'm a know me.
but that is it. But that is it. So maybe it is not far-fetched that someone just to bring another scenario before we end. There's the gentleman who set himself ablaze during the lockdown. I forgot his name. He was a border rider.
Yeah.
He took his border
and he set himself ablaze.
And do you know what police said? I cannot even repeat it on national TV. To be being dishonest with a man's memory. But in Tunisia, a man set himself ablaze over similar circumstances. They had taken these cuts they use for like fruits and
true.
And that's part of the Arab Spring.
Yeah.
So basically here we're living in a country where we want to pretend we're self-conscious, even us here. We're talking about politics like we care. If government come and give me money, I'll be like, Andrew Mwenda. Because what is the survival?
No. Let me tell you, I think at the point where you're pushing for certain things, you have to be ready to actually be ready to lose out certain kind of luxuries in life.
That is true. But I have one person doing that for me, that is Bobby Wine.
And you'll be with him until because when a revolution starts, I remember sometime and I will quote Ugandan when he was asked the Bobby Wine question, and he said, "You people, I need you to know one thing, that this whole thing of change is not a one-day effort. It's like cutting a tree. You don't hit it once and you fall. You hit, give another person hit, like that, until the tree falls." He's like, that is what we are doing right now. And I think the right person to do it right now is that gentleman, because he has the youth and music. One of the most influential things right now in the world, the youth. But the youth he has here are only fans. Are people who don't care about, who go on Twitter and quarrel about what? Wigs. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You said the wig, how much is it? 5 million or 3 million? I don't care, man. I don't care. You don't own shit. But you're quarreling over a wig or a wig of 5 million?
But it's a reflection of our elitist society.
Yeah.
Where people who have gone to school, probably professionals, they look down on people like Bobby Wine because they feel like, man, maybe I'm more eloquent than this man, but no, he's very eloquent. Maybe I'm more, I don't know, I have more knowledge in certain areas
than this gentleman.
But if you've traveled this country, I remember traveling I think a year and a half ago, I went to Gulu, to the village where Konyo was born, at a trading center. Everything was in red. There were pictures of Bobby Wine everywhere. I was like, oh my God. This man is like, he's coming. You can pretend, but he's coming. He's going to get there.
And you see, one thing about ourselves is that the youth between our age, because I called also Bob Wine a youth, that age, I remember they posted a photo of his place and then for his brother, Mickey Wine, and a prominent journalist was like, hey, guys, see Mickey Wine's house. And he's in that thing of, I didn't know this guy made all this money. Why does it shock people that a young man can make money? Are you trying to say that if you're not in government, you're not, or if you're not a certain kind of person, you're not supposed to have money?
And I feel like that is the thing that inspires a lot of a lot of men relate to Bobby Wine because they see how self-made he is.
Yeah.
Because I always tell people Bobby Wine has the second most important erection in this country. No, think about it.
What's with you and penis?
But think about it. This man goes to sleep.
I thought you might get erectile dysfunction.
This man goes to sleep and he has the second most important erection. You can be Sekandi, you can be whoever you want, you can be Gandaga.
Still erect.
That is inflammatory.
That's me. Who am I?
Anyway. But because he can shift this country. Whether these generals don't want to accept him, it does not matter. You see, people, power is a very elusive thing.
To casually talk about,
you have it or you don't have it.
To casually talk about Bobby is his wife. The wife tattooed the man on his back.
By the way,
and
if you listen to her, you know she's not like one of these.
Like any where he got her from. The church, he had dreads. He went there and he confused.
But let me tell you something. Bobby Wine came to my school when I was in senior 2, and when he started blowing up, everyone remembered that day. Everyone remembers what he said. So even before he had political ambitions, he had the ability to hold a crowd. And then no one was happy to see him. Because we wanted obsessions, wanted party. Now they're bringing Bobby White.
Yeah, Spice Girls.
Wanted Spice Girls.
From a single school.
Yeah, single sex school.
Yeah, true. But when you listen to the man speak, you don't. And I know many times when he's asked certain things and he answers them wrong. Like that economic question he was asked one time and he was blah. Like, these things are only go for it. He was blah. But yo, that is who we are, man.
That is who we are. You're not who understands economics.
Who understands,
like
like
definitely not Samson Kasumba. Definitely not him.
Or the other guy, Sabiti. Not him. But anyway, by and large, what we're trying to say is politics is here, man. Let's be safe and make sure we vote. Whoever you decide to vote, man, it's our right to vote. Let's participate in this thing, man. Let's be happy.
Even if you're NRM, at least when you're in the system, push the system to be more accountable.
Be more accountable at certain things, yeah. And I think we will end this with a toast.
To what? To OnlyFans?
To whatever, man. To cool us, eh?
To cool us. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Catch you in the next episode.